Good evening. I am Miriam Graham, and I am the Junior Clinical Coordinator of the Central Georgia Technical College Dental Hygiene Program. Every spring during the month of April, our senior class has to take the National Dental Hygiene Board exam in order to obtain their license. Now, this Dental Hygiene Board exam is an exam that is compiled of all the information that they have learned over the last 6 semesters while they're in the program. Now, it's also combined with information that they've learned in the clinical setting as well. Now, in the past, our full-time faculty, which consists of 4 of us, have divided our 14 classes, which we have taught over the past 6 semesters, and we have done a board review class between the months of January and March, once a week, where we do a review, and this review lasts about an hour and a half to 2 hours on one subject once a week. As you know, this is not enough time to review an entire semester of a class, which is usually 8 to 12 weeks, and try to condense this information into a 2-hour review at the most. So my idea is to do a podcast for this board review. This way, the students can play back the podcast and they can review this before their board exam. They also have time to review those classes that they really struggle in. So suppose a student really struggled in periodontology, which is one of the hardest classes in the program, or tooth anatomy, which is one of the very first classes that they were taught in their first summer class, and they may have forgotten some of the information that they first learned. They could replay those podcasts and concentrate on those subjects more than, say, nutrition, and maybe they really excelled in that particular class. Also, the instructor could record the podcast as they were teaching that session, and that way it would keep them from having to go back and review that particular class months later. They could do it as they were teaching. They could also include exams and quizzes to go along with the podcast. That way that could prepare the student with materials as they were preparing for the boards. The advantage of doing these podcasts are for the students to be able to replay the podcast at their convenience. We all know that when we hear information repeatedly, that we retain that information because repetition is key. We as instructors have to prepare our students to take this board exam, which is an important part for them to obtain their license. So far this year, out of 17 students in our program, we have had 15 to pass and 2 to fail. And so I believe that these podcasts will help our students and also help our program to adequately prepare the students so that we could get onto a 100% pass rate. I believe that the podcast will help our program to achieve this. This exam is stressful, this program is stressful, and the students need all the encouragement that they can get when taking this exam. One thing that I like to remind the students, and when our students are taking this exam and the whole time when we are in this program, that when life gives you 100 reasons to cry, and this program will give you many reasons to cry, show life that you have 1,000 reasons to smile. Thank you.